Welcome to the video. Today I'm talking about the Taylor 114CE acoustic guitar. I'm going to talk to you about why this is a great guitar, or why I think it's a great guitar, and I'm also going to talk to you about the Achilles heel in this thing and the reason that I do not gig what I think otherwise is a great guitar. So let's have a look at the specs of this thing. First of all, it's got a spruce top. It's got a laminate back inside, which you'd expect at this kind of price point, and that's fine. The neck appears to be some kind of mahogany derivative or relative. It's not mahogany itself, it's too stripy for that, but it's nice enough. The finish is a matte finish. I've got to say the finish on the neck feels very, very smooth and very, very slinky. And this has had a lot of play and it hasn't gone shiny. There's still some texture to that. I think that comes from the fact that the finish is thin and that it's on a mahogany style timber, which has a little bit of movement, a little bit of grain to it. The tuners are an unbranded tuner. They're a sealed tuner, but they're a good one. The bridge is an ebony bridge, and the fingerboard seems to be some kind of ebony as well, as far as I can see. It plays really well. There's no actual faults in the guitar. I will come to that Achilles heel later on, but let's have a listen to some chords played out in a few bits and pieces. I'm using a small diaphragm condenser mic. I'll position the mic about that far away, pointing at about here, which is where you generally mic up an acoustic guitar. So, have a listen. So there's a quick blast. I'm hoping that the microphone and the YouTube thing is picking it up as well as I'm getting it in the room, because when you play this guitar, it feels and it plays and sounds really good. It resonates really well, and it's the best sounding in the room acoustic guitar I've got. However, and this is what you don't get told very often when you see the reviews on these things, there is, to me anyway, a real issue with using this thing live. By the way, if you are interested in my opinions and my waffle, etc., then don't forget to subscribe and send us a like. Give me a comment on the video as well. Tell me what you think, because I'm going to have some fairly strong opinions in this video. Now, I do 200 gigs a year. I do a lot of them acoustic. I do a lot of them electric. But when I play live, I don't play loud. I play through one speaker that's to the side of me and in front. I use in-ear monitors, so I haven't got a lot of feedback from a monitor. But when you plug this guitar in, it's a different story altogether. This one has got the ES2 Expression system in it. I've come across a lot of Taylors with the first version of it. And, well, have a listen. I'm going to play something similar to what I played before, and I'm going to DI it, so I'm going straight into my sound card from the out on the back of the guitar. I've got the volume all the way up, so there's plenty of gain from it. And I've got the tone controls set in the middle. Have a listen, and this tone is just the first issue that I want to talk about. Do I need to say much? To me, that's horrendous. It's harsh, it's nasty in the middle, there's no air to the sound, and really for that to be a premium kind of sound, and for the pickup system in this to be the same pickup system that's used across the entire Taylor range, which means all of their guitars are going to sound pretty much like this one does. And believe me, I run a lot of open mic nights. I come across a lot of guitar players and a lot of guitars, and all the Taylors have a similar kind of issue going on. And they take a lot of work to EQ them. Some guitars you can set the EQ flat all the way down the mixing desk and they sound anywhere between fine and great. The Taylors, you've got to do a lot of work and a lot of sculpting on your parametric EQ just to get them to sound reasonable. The other issue, when you turn these things up, and again, it's not just mine, it's other people's as well that I've noticed, and other people telling me that they're having the same problem, but when you turn these things up to a reasonable kind of gigging volume, then the feedback just howls. And for me, on this particular guitar, it's around about a D. And that note there just absolutely resonates and rattles around the room, and I cannot get through a song, anything where I've got to play that chord, play a chord with a D in it, G chord, anything like that, without it just taking off and having a life of its own. There are some advantages to it. It does feel nice to play, it does play well, however, that sound is just a non-starter for me. In the room, as an acoustic guitar, love it, it sounds great. This is my in the house, at home, learning songs and playing guitar, but trust me, I'm never going to gig this. Have a comment below, tell me if you think I'm right about that plugged in sound. The acoustic sound, tell me what you think of that. I think it's great, but that plugged in thing, I don't know. Okay, I'll leave it up to you. Go and try them for yourselves, make your own opinions, and I'll see you in the next video.